So the interest rates have been on the rise, and I'm pretty sure most of your monthly mortgage payments would have gone up exponentially. However, if you have some money sitting in your bank accounts, did you know that you could utilize it to offset it with your mortgage? Well, to find out more, stay tuned throughout the video. I'm Pradesh and you're watching WIS Mortgages, Accountancy and Insurance. So to decode the topic offset mortgage, I have with me Iftikhar Mohammed, who has been an accountant and a mortgage advisor for the past 10 plus years. Ifti, how are you doing today?
Hi, I'm very well, thank you, Pradesh. How are you doing?
Not bad, Ifti. We last met in Galle. The weather was quite sunny. How is it in Colombo?
Yeah, it's not too bad actually. The weather is not bad over here. It's very different to Galle for sure, but Colombo is treating me very well too.
Right, that's good to know. So, about offset mortgages, many people may not be aware of this option, or they may not know what an offset mortgage exactly is all about. So what exactly is an offset mortgage? What is it all about?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people, like you said, rightly said, don't know much about offset mortgages. It's a beautiful product, to be honest, because if you have savings, it works very well for you. So offset mortgage is nothing but a savings account connected to your mortgage. So for example, let's say you have a savings account which has 100,000 balance, and let's say you have an offset mortgage which has 200,000 balance. That bank can connect the two for you. So effectively, you're only paying interest on that 100,000 difference between the savings account and the mortgage. So that's what offset mortgage effectively does for you.
Right, so that sounds like a very interesting option, isn't it? Now, are there like different types of an offset account if I really want to opt for one?
Yeah, there are two types of offset accounts. One is where the offset interest goes to reduce your mortgage balance. So every month, if you're accruing, let's say £100 interest, that goes off and sets off your mortgage balance. That's the first type of mortgage account you have as an offset. And the second type you have is where the interest actually reduces your monthly payment. So in circumstances like this, or times like this, if you want to keep your mortgage payments low, the second one might be better for you. But the first one has its own benefits. That's the more popular one. It's more popular because in the first one, it reduces your principal, right? So if it's reducing your principal, effectively your mortgage balance starts to reduce.
So let's say, for example, I have £200,000 in my mortgage offset account, and I have a mortgage of about £200,000, which is equal to the amount I've saved in my offset account. Do I have to pay anything at all?
No, that's the beauty of it, right? So if you have a mortgage where you got savings for the same amount, effectively you pay zero. So that's what happens. So you'll pay nothing at all. I've got a client who's like that. So she's got a balance of 200,000 plus her savings is also 200,000. Effectively, she pays zero. But as a practice, she continues to pay her monthly agreed installment. What that does is it reduces her mortgage balance as she goes. But the beauty of this offset account is when you want the savings back, you can always withdraw at very short notice.
Wow, that sounds like a fascinating option, isn't it? Because you don't have to pay anything at all, unless you wish to make your regular monthly payments. So one of the most frequently asked questions about offset mortgages is that if, let's say, I have some money saved in my offset account and it has been offset to the mortgage, but I would like to withdraw some of my savings from the offset account due to some emergency, can I really do that? And if I do that, would that impact my monthly payments?
That's a very good question, Pradesh. So for example, if you have an offset account, like I said, there's two types of offset accounts. So what happens is, if you had money in your savings accounts for 15 days and the rest of the 15 days you did not have the money, you will pay interest for 15 days and you won't pay interest for the other 15 days where the money was in. Now you can withdraw that money at any point, right? There's no problem. That's the beauty of the account. Because in essence, an offset account is nothing but a savings account, right? It's not like a fixed deposit where the money has to be there for a year or 6 months or whatever it is. You can withdraw it at very, very short notice. So you can do that but I would say keep 2-3 days because depending on the bank. Now, what happens with the interest payment is, like I said, there are two types of offset accounts. So on the first type, which is the most popular one, if you withdraw the money, but you tell the bank to take your monthly installment as it is, it doesn't make a change because you're still, if you're paying $1,200 a month, you'll continue to pay $1,200 a month. So if you have the second type of account where the interest payment is sort of netting off your monthly payment, then you'll be affected because for 15 days, you'll get the benefit and the 15 days you won't, right? But people make use of this offset account quite a lot. I work with a lot of accounting clients. What they do is, their tax money, they save it in the offset account. So when they need it, they take it out. When they don't need it, they put it back in. And there are some people who plan offset accounts very well, where they set up all their monthly payments towards the end of the month. So what they do is at the beginning of the month, they put all their money into the offset account. And when their monthly payments come due for their, say, for example, their utility bills, they move that money back into their regular current account and pay that off. So they benefit for the whole month from that money. So, people make use of this offset account a lot.
Right, so from the sounds of it, there seems to be like multiple ways of making use of this offset account. So it makes it sound like a great option. But my question around that is now, is it really advisable to take out money from the offset account? When is the right time to take out the money from the offset account?
Very good question, Pradesh. I would keep the money in the offset account for as long as I can. So that's when you benefit the most. So even if it's £5,000, if you need the money only at the end of the month, don't move it to your current account at the beginning of the month. So keep it in your account as long as you can. That's when you will reap the benefits of the offset account. That's the whole idea. Like I said, it's nothing but a savings account connected to your mortgage. So make best use of it. I know company directors who's allowed to take £10,000 out as a director's loan. They sometimes take that money and put in the offset account because they will benefit from that.
Right, okay. So if let's say I would like to opt for an offset mortgage, are there any conditions that I have to meet?
Definitely not. There aren't any conditions as such. Offset mortgage is a type of mortgage. So when I say a type of mortgage, it's like a fixed mortgage or a variable mortgage, like a tracker or a discount. You have another category called an offset mortgage. So that's what it is. So offset mortgage is nothing but a type of mortgage. So if you want an offset mortgage, you have to sign up for an offset mortgage at the outset itself. Because not all banks offer offset mortgages. So there are only a few banks, and switching is sometimes difficult unless you're on a non-ERC product, which means you don't pay a penalty, you can just always move out and get an offset mortgage. But if you're on a fixed deal, you can't come out of it. You have to get the offset mortgage at the outset itself. So you got to be very clear before you sign up for a mortgage, which type of mortgage you want. That's when advice comes into play. Because sometimes advisors look at your bank balances and they say, hold on a second, you have some money. Why don't you make use of it and go for an offset, right? So that's when advice really comes to play.
Right. So if you spoke about different types of interest rates available to many customers, I think we even did a video on that. We did a comparison video, rather a compare and contrast between a fixed and a variable rate mortgage. Now, I do understand that these rates are available to all people and the variable rates have been gaining popularity these days. So is it possible for me to get an offset mortgage either on a fixed rate or a variable rate?
That's right, Pradesh. There are two types of offset mortgages. One is a fixed and one is a variable. So it depends on the lender. A lot of lenders have a fixed offset, but there are a few lenders who have variable offset accounts, such as a tracker or a discounted mortgage. So depending on your circumstances, an advisor would advise you what's kind of best for you. But there are two different types of mortgages. And you're right, the variable mortgages have been very popular as of late, but these options are available to you.
Right. If you have not watched our video on fixed versus variable rate mortgages, here's a card to it, click on it and watch the video. So moving on to my next question, Ifti. Let's say I am conducting a business and I have a business account with a lot of savings in it, but I would like to offset it with my mortgage. Is it possible for me to offset my mortgage with my business account savings?
Yes, definitely yes. If you have a business account and you also have an offset mortgage, there is a particular lender who will be comfortable with this. There are a lot of conditions attached to it, but it's doable. So if you do have a offset account and you have a mortgage with that particular lender, we can make things work.
If you're curious to know who that lender is, call us on 0203 0111 986. So if they're moving on to my next question. I know you spoke in detail about the different aspects of an offset mortgage, but to summarize it all, what are the pros and cons of an offset mortgage?
Okay, my number one benefit is we find a lot of people who have money in their current accounts not earning any interest, or they have money in their savings account which earns interest which is next to nothing. So for people like that, if they can connect their savings to their offset, they will definitely benefit from it. A lot of people don't know that there's option like this, because we find clients who have rainy day funds of 50,000, 100,000, but they never touch it, and that doesn't do anything for them. So this is a safe option, and obviously it helps you with your mortgage as well. So that's my number one benefit. And number two is there's tax advantages. Obviously I'm putting my accountant's hat now. As an accountant, I always advise clients, if they do have spare cash, this may be an option for them. Because obviously on the interest that you make on a normal savings account, you do pay tax, but on an offset account, the savings is tax free. So you will benefit from that.
So there you go, the man with the numbers.
Okay, so the third benefit for me is, like we discussed earlier, you can connect your business balances, right? Because a lot of people didn't know that. With some businesses, especially the ones I work with, they have a lot of balances sitting in their business accounts which is not doing anything. Why not connect it to your offset mortgage? Because you will benefit from that. Okay, so the cons of offset account is not all lenders offer you an offset mortgage. There are a lot of big lenders out there who do not offer offset mortgages. So there are only a handful of lenders who do this. So that's one of the biggest disadvantages here. The other disadvantage you have is the offset accounts sometimes charge more interest. So it may not work for everybody, because let's say there's a normal lender who offers 4% interest, and if let's say the offset interest is 4.5%, then you may not reap the benefits from that. But again, it depends from time to time. For some people it does work. It's always best to get advice if you're looking at this area. So the next con for me is it doesn't work for everyone. If you have savings of, let's say, £5,000, and let's say your mortgage balance is £4,000, this might not be the right product for you. So it doesn't work for everybody. It benefits certain people, but you do need to talk to your advisors on this, because the advisors have a calculation that they use. So they can put this into a calculator and they can check whether you will benefit from this. So that's a service that a lot of advisors can offer. They should be well versed in this area. So my last benefit is, sometimes you take an offset account. I've seen this quite a lot. Thinking that you can keep your savings of, let's say, £50,000, but an emergency comes and you withdraw that money out of your account. So you don't benefit from it. You may be at a disbenefit. So that's something that you need to think about, whether you will actually need this money. So if you don't need the money, you will benefit from it. But for some reason, if you have to withdraw the money, you won't benefit from it. So you have to think long and hard whether you will need this money during this term that you have the offset account.
So from the sounds of it, it looks like people have to plan their finances accordingly so that they can really benefit from this offset mortgage. So I know the mortgage payments have gone up, like I said in the beginning. In this current economic climate, is an offset mortgage the right way to go about?
It will work for some people, Pradesh. It won't work for everybody, but it will work for somebody. I'll just take an example. Let's say, this is a basic example. If somebody has a 400,000 mortgage, and let's say they have 200,000 savings, and let's say the interest rate is 4%. So effectively, you're only paying interest on half. So effectively, your mortgage interest is only 2%. So you're not going to find a 2% interest rate deal nowadays, right? So obviously it's a very basic calculation, but what I'm trying to say is you may benefit from that. That's when advice comes into play. I'd say speak to an advisor. They have the tools to make these calculations. So based on the calculations they do, they'll be able to advise you what's best for you.
Right, so if you would like the right advice on getting an offset mortgage, you can call us on 0203 0111 986. Do follow us on all your favorite social media platforms And if you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and don't forget to click on the bell icon to be notified on the latest and greatest of UK mortgages. Thank you for watching and have a great day.